Hello and welcome to 2014's Erection Race. Let's go through our starters. Our first horse in brown in the far left is Mana, ridden by jockey Honey Harawira. Now, he's ridden previously on the horse Maori, but had disagreements with the rest of the team, and for the last two race meets has ridden the horse Mana. Odds on Mana are roughly 100 to 1 at this stage. Right next to Mana is Internet, ridden by Leila Hare. Leila Hare has previously ridden on Alliance, but hasn't really placed well in any recent race meets. Looks like Internet has got the heaviest payload to carry this race. She's also looking a bit too well fed. This may be as a result of the big German tycoon Kim.com, who has put a lot of faith in her for this race and has bought into the horse with several $1 million. His motivation seems to be more of a vendetta against rival horse National than any realistic hope of winning the race. Oh, look, in a strange turn of events, Internet and Leila Hare have swapped lanes and are now riding in the same lane as Mana and Honey Harawira. In fact, they seem to be getting along famously. Hang on, there has been a challenge issued to the judge official by some of the other teams. No, the judge has said it is legal. They can, it seems, ride in the same lane. Well, not sure how that works, but when you put your odds together, I guess they do improve. So now it looks like the new odds for the Internet Mana double horse double jockey have improved to 50 to 1. In the third lane from the left, we have the green horse, simply named The Greens. Now, this is also a rather strange situation here where we have two jockeys riding the same horse. You'd think it would be problematic, but it seems the green horse likes it that way and has placed as high as third in previous race meets with the same situation. Perhaps it's something to do with the fact they feed the horse on all organic material, which seems to give it strength to carry the two jockeys at the same time. The jockeys here, Materia Toure and Russell Norman, seem to have a simpatico relationship with one another too.
The national team have accused them several times of taking performance-enhancing drugs, but these allegations have never been proven.
The odds on the green horse have been improving at every race meet and are now standing at 7 to 1. Some people are even putting them as a contender for second place in coming meets. In the fourth lane across just left of centre, we have the red horse Labour, ridden by David Cunliffe. The Labour horse has been second the last couple of race meets, but it is an experienced horse with lots of wins under its belt, and so second isn't really what they aspire to. Recently there have been a few changes of jockey, and there is some uncertainty still within the team whether David Cunliffe is the right one to be riding the horse at this race meet. Some people are even suggesting that they should go back to the glory days with Helen Clark as jockey, but she is out of the country and doesn't appear to have any interest in getting back on the horse. So it has become a bit of a bring-back buck situation. Still, Cunliffe has done quite well in recent leaders' debate meets, and so you never know, he could still come to grips with this horse at this race meet. The odds on the Labour horse at the moment are 4 to 1. In the next lane across one of the central lanes, we have the black, or is it more grey, horse New Zealand First. Riding on New Zealand First is well known and sometimes controversial jockey Winston Peters. Now, Winston Peters has been part of the national race team before from 1975 to 1993, but in 1993 decided he wanted to become a jockey in his own right and is now riding New Zealand First into this race. His current odds are 14 to 1, but he claims they should be higher and has never been a fan of the TAB. He doesn't like what he calls their race-based odds, but this is after all a race, so a necessary part for the punters. But Winston keeps saying the only race that matters is the race on the day, and I guess you could say there is some truth to that. Next to Winston is the Maori horse. They don't always ride in this lane. In fact, both New Zealand First and Maori and the next horse along, United Future, seem to change lanes quite often in various race meets. We have seen Maori ride next to Labour, but now they seem to be riding closer to National, although we have to say that their prospects have gone down a lot over the last 6 years from riding in this lane. At present, their odds are hovering around 100 to 1. They have been a lot higher in previous race meets. They also have a new jockey in Te Ururoa Flavel. He has gone from being a member of the team to now riding the horse as their previous two jockeys stepped down. He is struggling to get this horse to its former glory, and there are fears they might not even qualify for the next race. The horse is looking a bit tired, but looking even more tired is the next horse over in purple. This is the United Future horse ridden by Peter Dunn with his recognisable coif of hair and stylish bow tie. Unfortunately, his hair and his bow tie seem to have lost their novelty of late, and although he keeps on insisting to his marketing team that they need to go back to feeding United Future worms, they just haven't got on board. His chances of winning this race are at virtually zero, so I wouldn't put any money on him. This could potentially be his last race. They have been feeding the horse game meat, but I'm not sure. It could need a more balanced diet if it is ever going to get back to the glory days of 2002, when its odds saw a huge increase to 14 to 1 on the back of the successful worm feeding diet. Just across from Peter Dunn is jockey Colin Craig, although some would say he would seem more suited to the rodeo, the way he rides his horse, the Conservatives. Their horse is blue, which makes it somewhat hard to distinguish between the national horse, although Craig insists his colour is more of a sky blue, when theirs is more of a sea blue. New Zealand first jockey Winston Peters has also been up in arms, saying Craig has been spying on his training regime and stealing ideas from him. Colin is not, however, the first to be accused of this by Winston. The Conservative horse has made some real gains since the last Erection Race meet, where it didn't place anywhere despite having odds close to 40-1, better than some of the other horses racing at the time. Their odds this time have increased to almost 20-1, and if they get up that high, that makes them a surefire contender for the next race meet. It'll be touch and go, but at the end of the day, we'll see what happens after the gun. Next to them is the favourite to win this race meet, the Blue National Horse, or is it a donkey? No, in fact that's John Key, the ever-smiling jockey who has been riding this horse for the last 3 erections, in which he rose from second in 2008 to win the last 2 race meets. People wonder whether the horse is suffering fatigue though. There have also been allegations that John Key and some of his teammates have been going around feeding the other horses poisonous pellets to help National win this and other races. Along with this, there have been allegations of spying. Although there seems to be some truth to the story, I'm not sure that anyone is buying into it. Whatever the case, he seems to be still firmly at the helm of this number 1 horse, and their odds have been as high as 2-1 of late. People also do complain that the odds are sometimes rigged in National's favour, but John Key says at the end of the day we are looking to defeat the 5-headed monster, whatever that means. He is still by far the most popular jockey amongst the punters, and it seems at times it could be a 1-horse race. Kim.com, funder of the Internet Horse, however, has threatened to injure the National Horse a few days before this race, and we will see if this has any effect. Whatever the case, the German seems to be at risk of being deported for other misdemeanours. Although National is running in the 9th lane, as odd as this may sound, the 9th lane is really not that far from the centre lane, and some pundits have even remarked that the 9th lane is even encroaching close in on Labour in the 4th lane. Out on the far right, however, in the final lane is the Yellow Horse Act, ridden by the noticeably bald Jamie White. It has been said that Jamie White fancies himself as a bit of a philosopher, but his philosophies haven't really had too much effect on the horse, as of yet. The odds for this horse are lower than 100-1. There is some speculation as to whether it's Jamie White who is riding the horse, or another jockey, David Seymour. In past races, this horse has ridden very close on the tail of the National Horse, so close in fact that some teams have claimed foul play, and even that National has given them a piggyback. In spite of this horse is hardly placing, but still, when there is prize money on the line, it is a bit of a contentious issue. Well, there's our starting lineup. All we need to do now is wait for the gun.